So this next dish is the main dish. Now this dish can be cooked individually, or you can actually cook, it's lamb rump. It's Mulwara lamb, which is delicious. I've eaten this several times. Now this is a rump. This is from the leg of the lamb. There's 4 primal cuts of the leg, and this is one of them. This has a slight chew about it, but it's got a lot of flavour. So I'm going to show you how to trim it up. We're going to coat this with a mixture of panko crumbs, parmesan, pistachio nuts, and these are Iranian pistachio nuts. They're bright green, and also a little bit of pepper and allspice. And we're going to brush this with a mustard. This is a Tasmanian mustard, mountain pepper mustard. So the idea is I'm going to brush the lamb with the mustard, and then I'm going to coat it in the crumbing mix and in the oven. We're going to bake it in the oven, so this will take around 12 minutes to get it cooked medium rare. And the interesting thing about this is the lamb isn't sealed, it's actually put into the oven in its raw state. There's 2 ways of dealing with this. You can speed up the process and sear the lamb first, cool it down, brush it with the mustard and put the crumbing mix on and then cook it. But you have to get the timing right on that. This timing actually works with raw lamb. Now there's not much difference in the actual the cooking method as such, because as long as the lamb's rested properly, you'll get the same result. So I know that there's a school of thought about you need to sear all meat first and then cook it. This way works equally as well, and I've been doing it for years and I've had no complaints. So I will just show you quickly. Now you don't have to use rump, you can use the racks of lamb as well. Usually 3 to 4 points will feed one person, and it needs to be cleaned as well. You take the cap and the fat off the lamb, and then you do exactly the same thing. You cook it a little bit less, cook it for about 8 to 10 minutes or so. This is the rack of lamb. So let's go underneath first. We just trim this up. Get some of this fat off. Now we'll remove some of the top layer of the cap. Right, now the lamb has been cleaned up, I'm going to make the crust, which is quite a simple thing, although you need to have the proper ingredients, especially the pistachio nuts. As I was saying, these are Iranian pistachio nuts. See how bright green they are. Parmesan cheese, panko crumbs. I've got some allspice, not to be confused with mixed spice or Chinese 5-spice, and some crushed black pepper. And also this wonderful mustard, the mountain pepper mustard from Tasmania. So let's get this happening. Some parmesan into the crumbs. Let's get it all in. Little pinch of allspice. Crushed black peppercorns, So we'll just gently mix this through. Once that's mixed, then we can go ahead with the lamb. Just a very light seasoning. But this is nice. This is kind of pungent, and it pops of these mustard seeds pop in your mouth in a really nice way, and they're really fragrant. So we're just going to do the top. We take this crumbing mix and literally sprinkle on top. Be quite generous with it. Push it into the mustard mix. And from that, I just gently drizzle a little bit of the oil on top of the crumbs. I've also got a heavy pan. The reason why I use heavy pans is they retain heat. I've just put a little bit of oil in here, and I've heated the pan up gently, because I want the underside to have a bit of, to start the cooking process. So, olive oil. In the oven, 200 degrees for around 12 minutes. So with the lamb, I've made this potato salad. This potato salad is it's fairly basic, but I've actually added harissa, which is a very spicy, hot condiment made with a lot of dried chilies, which I've dehydrated and mixed. I've actually dropped the dried chilies into boiling water and then taken the seeds out and pureed them and mixed it with spices, garlic, and it is quite hot, but I love it. It's a great condiment to a lot of things, and especially to this potato salad. Potato salads, there's 100 different recipes. You can use mayonnaise. I'm not using mayonnaise this time. What I've done is with these potatoes, Victorian potatoes, I've peeled them, diced them. They've been poached or boiled, a little bit of salt, and then strained. And as I strain it, as they're cooling down, I sprinkle a little bit of lemon and olive oil onto the potatoes, so they absorb the lemon oil. So I let that cool down, and then I'll add all the other bits and pieces, all the other ingredients to it. There's spring onions. I've just cleaned them, cut them in half, and I'm just going to finely shred them. So I love onions, spring onions, anything from that family, so I'm going to be quite generous with it. Also with these dill cucumbers, I'm not going to chop them. I'm actually going to put them through a mandolin, a Japanese mandolin, which is optional. If you have one at home, use it, because they're very precise. It's actually interesting textures added to the dish through slicing. So I quite like using the cucumbers, or these dill cucumbers, in this method. Delicious with the potato salad. And this is again a really nice texture for the potato salad. So spring onions, dill cucumbers, harissa, and here's my potatoes. I'm just going to strain them. As they're still hot, some of this wonderful oil, this extra virgin oil, amount 0, a little bit of sea salt, and a splash of lemon, and those potatoes are going to take up a lot of that lovely refreshing lemon, the olive oil, the richness of the olive oil. Also, I like, when I make a potato salad, I like to actually cook it so it's cooked through properly and it starts to break up a little bit, because when it starts to break up, then it binds, it helps bind the potatoes and makes it become a little more creamy. So I'm just going to smash a little bit of this. I'm also going to add some fresh coriander. So this has been washed several times. The roots are fine for other things as well. In fact, the roots have got quite a bit of flavour. But let's just shred these as opposed to chop. I don't chop herbs, I shred them. When you chop, you bruise the herbs and you lose a lot of the flavour. So when you shred, it's just been cut once over the herb. And I can pretty much go right down to the base. I've noticed here in Dubai that the herbs are 100% better than what they were maybe 2 years ago. So now I'm going to mix the potato salad. Let's start off with the spring onion. Coriander. Harissa. Now I'm going to start off with a teaspoon because I know how potent it is. Some more olive oil. A little splash of vinegar for more sharpness. Tiny squeeze of lemon as well. Go for a mix. See how that tastes. Also want to add some right at the very end. I'm going to add a little bit of yogurt, cream it up. So it's you don't have that fat from the mayonnaise. See, for me that looks, it really looks inviting, especially with the added harissa or the red colouring there. It looks so inviting. Blend a little bit of yogurt in that. And then later we'll crown it with the pickled gherkins. So this needs to rest for at least 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. So with the cucumber, just kind of wave it on top. This is actually a really lovely dish to present in the middle of the table for Christmas. It's so important to have a nice, sharp, thin knife for carving, with a little bit of flexibility. I think that could be my new find for the coming months. So when we slice, across the grain, and fairly thick slices as well. I don't know if you can see that. Not bad. Oh yeah, that's actually damn good. And so just gently lift the sliced lamb onto the plate. Just let it fall on naturally. And just see if you can just open it up slightly, just to reveal a lovely blush of pink. So, a little bit of balsamic.